Ladies and gentlemen, I am trapped, both literally as well as figuratively. I am so in love with this port project that I am trapped into working on it. I can think of nothing else other than ideas for this area, and I absolutely love it. Hello? You're new. You weren't here like 5 minutes ago. How are you doing today? You enjoy that chest? Is that your chest? Okay, I'll leave you to it then. But in the last episode, ladies and gentlemen, we did a ton of work here at the port. We got all of these brand new ships in to kind of fill out this area. We also got in the brand new floor, replaced all of that stone brick with some brand new texturing, as well as we got in this bridge in the last episode. Also, in between the last episode and this episode, I got in some more cargo into this area. We now have more barrels around. We have more chests around, as well as I had a great comment in one of my Twitch live streams to add in some hay bales, as if hay is being imported into this area for food, for cattle, and things like that. So I really like that idea, and we've added in some hay bales around here as well. But also I had a recommendation from Beardstone to add in some type of crab cage, and I was like, that's a great idea. Right off a port, have some type of crab cage hanging over the edge, and that is what is built here. Kind of a crane structure with a crab cage hanging over the water here. And I actually really like how this came out. They're multiplying! They're multiplying! There was literally none here this morning, and now we have two. How do turtle spawning work? I have no idea. Am I gonna end up with a port full of turtles? Because if so, I'm oddly okay with that. But let's go ahead and go over today's agenda. So first and foremost, we are going to expand our port by adding in a second level up to this area. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to expand this wall out to that dirt block and then make this entire area a second level to the port. This is going to allow us to add in some homes and some cottages up into this area for the future. That way we can have something that overlooks the port. Also in today's episode, we are going to add in a very small port bar over here across from the markets, just as a place for the sailors to come up and have a drink and relax between shifts. But first, let's go ahead and start with the port expansion. I'm going to expand this wall out to over in that section and then just detail out the wall with a bit of an archway pattern, kind of like what we did over here all along the backside here. So after several hours, we now have a wall in. Not only do we have that wall extended, but we also have the top portion where we're going to eventually put some buildings all in as well. So as you can see, what we did with the wall was we came right up close to where the city was, and then we turned back over out toward the ocean again. And the reason for that is I want to try and avoid getting too close to some of the other creators here. This is Liara's plot. I don't want to get too close to that, and that is something that Tiz Tom has going on. I'm not entirely sure, to be honest with you, but we just kind of curved around all of that, went fairly close, but gave them enough room that they can do whatever they want. And then we have reached out toward this section of the bay area here. I may expand this out and even put some more docks out here in the future, but for right now, this area is going to be our focus. We're going to get some brand new buildings into this area and hopefully make this area feel a little bit more like an actual city or town. But that's enough expansion for today. Let's actually start building a port bar in this area. So first off, let's go ahead and talk about the layout for the bar, because that's kind of what you need to think about first and foremost whenever you build one of these is how is your bar going to be laid out, because everything is going to center around this area here. So this is our bar. It's just some regular stairs on the ground with some upside down stairs on top of that. That seems a little bit high, but the bar stools are also going to be a little bit high up off the ground as well. So this will end up making a lot more sense. Now, as for this section of the building here, this is going to be our bar area, and it's going to be kind of a bigger, nicer part of the building. And then this over here, between these pillars is going to be a much smaller area, kind of like a storeroom, and is probably going to look a lot more like an add-on to the building rather than the main structure. Out here where we have these fence posts is going to be a very small covering over top, because this will be an outdoor bar. It's not going to be an entirely enclosed building, and I think that that is going to work very nicely. So I'm liking the way that this is coming out thus far. You can definitely tell that it's a bar. However, I think that it needs a little bit more of the pizzazz into this area. And I don't know exactly how to do that yet. Obviously, once we get the bar stools in and once we get in the brewing stands and the TV back here, things are going to start making a little bit more sense. But I think that right now this is feeling very Western in style. It's very much very drab for a bar, and a seaport bar I would think would have a little bit more color. So I think that I'm going to try and get some of that into the roof. I'm going to pick kind of a lighter blue color, maybe like a light blue terracotta or something like that for the roof, just to make it feel a little bit more upbeat rather than it does right now, because right now it's very Western in style in a way. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is looking much, much better. The blue terracotta really adds a nice little pop to the area. It doesn't look as Western anymore. It definitely looks a little bit brighter and like it actually fits at a seaside port. So I like that. Just a little splash of terracotta here and there. But let's go ahead and take a look on the inside. So first and foremost, we have a few bar stools out here for people from the ship port to come up to and sit down and have a drink. If we go ahead and head inside, we have a couple of kegs on the wall over here. We have whatever drinks are being advertised. We have a TV that is showing some type of martial arts sport, maybe MMA or something like that going on in the back. And then down here at the bottom, we have all of the drink machines and stuff like that. In the little side room, we have additional stock, additional drink machines, additional kegs, things like that. And then obviously we have the drinks on the counter up here. So not bad at all. I really like how this area came out. However, some additional seating could go very nicely somewhere in this area, because right now basically only 3 people can sit at that bar. So that's not going to work out. Let's try and get some type of table out in this area. So I think what I'm going to do in this area is do kind of a longer table, as if some of the crew members would like to eat together. However, one of the big issues that we're going to have here is I don't want it to get too far into the walkway. So I'm going to try and keep things a little tight over here. In fact, I may even bring it down just a bit so that we can scoot it over this way a little bit further out of the walkway. It's going to be a fine balance in this area because it's kind of becoming a tight space. So we got to work with the limited space that we have so that we can still have this nice big walkway through the city. So yeah, I got to figure out what to do here. So I think that the table is enough out of the walkway that it's not going to bother anybody that is walking down this street. So that is absolutely perfect. Now the next thing that I want to get into this table is an umbrella. We already have some plates down with some food. We already have some mugs around, but I would like to get in some type of umbrella. And I'm actually going to use a very, very old school umbrella from YouTube that I saw years and years ago. I haven't actually seen anybody do this design in a long time, but the basic idea is to use beds, and the reason that you use beds is because it has this top half that is wool, but the underneath is kind of this wood texture. It also has these little frills that will come down from the umbrella as the legs of the bed, and if you go ahead and you get 4 of these around in a circle like so, and you just remove that like so, and we'll do this a couple more times on each side. Also, you need to make sure that you line this up to where the middle, where the white part is kind of lined up with the middle of the block. It just makes it look a little bit more natural. But if we go ahead and take another yellow bed there, and then take another yellow bed from right here, and place it down, and we'll go ahead and remove this all out. As you can see, you will have yourself a nice little umbrella. It's a little bit different, it's a little bit quirky, but I think it's better to use something like this for an umbrella than the very flat, very thin canopies that we have here, or even full wool blocks. It's just something different. It's another way to design an area. And since the last clip, we have actually had a truly Bedrock stream day over on my Twitch. If you guys have not taken a look at that, go ahead and click the link in the description, go over to my Twitch and give me a follow. But that stream, basically, I felt exactly like this. I felt like I was in a bit of a prison with my chat. It was some fun time, so go check out the VOD, and be sure to follow me over on my Twitch page. But let's go over some of the stuff that we did in the live stream. So the first thing that we did in our live stream is light up the tower. We were having some mobs spawn up at the top, and then falling down on our heads, and this doesn't sound like a massive accomplishment, but this took me 45 minutes to do on stream because the chat kept having me eat chorus fruit over and over again every time that I got near the top. So something that should have taken me 2 or 3 minutes to do took me 45 minutes. I swear, you guys must really, really hate me. But after we were done with that, the stream chat also decided that we should pull off a small prank, and we did. We did to Zloy XP and made him a nice... It was supposed to be a unicorn, but it turned out to be part pig, part unicorn. It's a Pigacorn on the top of his building. Just a nice little prank for Zloy, so that was another fun thing that we did in the stream. But since that live stream, I have started working on detailing out the expansion wall, and I have a couple of different designs that I want to mix in slowly as we go around here. So first and foremost, any area that is a bit shorter, not as tall, I want to do these smaller slits, these one wide slits in areas like that. And then any bigger areas, these nice big archways are a good way to break up a wall like that. So that is not a bad idea. However, if you do too many of them, this can overtake a wall very, very quickly. So we may want to be a little bit more sparing with this as we go around the rest of the wall. But as you can see, Beardstone has also started working on detailing out his area and combining it in with ours. We have plans to get a build somewhere right around here to kind of fill in this space. But overall, this dude's landscaping is on point, man. He has done so good, has himself a little campfire bridge going across here, and to be honest with you, I love it. He also had this idea, which I really liked, was we had 2 archways on each side, and he decided to, instead of making this just a blank wall, to actually add in a small sewer grate in the back here with some water flowing out and connecting up to his river that he already had. So I really like that idea, and I think that this area is coming together quite nicely. I believe that he's going to connect up another path over to this staircase up here as well, but for the most part, all of the landscaping and stuff, I'm kind of leaving to Beardstone to figure out because he's so good at it. I mean, look at what he can do. He's very good at the whole landscaping and detailing thing. But I still have some huge parts of this wall that need to be detailed out. Things like this that are just big and flat obviously can't stay like that. We're gonna have to come up with something to break up that area. In fact, something that we could do would be like put like a little undermarket right here inside of one of the walls. That may not be a bad idea. Or even another sewer grate that leads into an under part of the port. Not entirely sure, but just some ideas that I've had. And we have to do this all the way around this guy. Like, places like this won't be too hard to detail, but then places like this over here, it's going to be a little bit more difficult. Also, I need to come back with some stone brick and actually make this touch the ground around here. I did this very roughly so far, but the expansion will look really good whenever we're done. So let's talk future plans for this area. We now have a pretty massive area to work with for a small town on top of the port. Now, we're not going to be able to go crazy with this area, but we can do something really nice. So first and foremost, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in some cottage structures all along a line right here. And the reason for that is from the seashore, you'll be able to see up into this area, and I would like to make it look like it's actual residences. However, those residences are going to be stacked one on top of the other, very close together right here. So where one cottage ends, another cottage is going to begin, and it's going to kind of look like it's a small street right along the front here. So we'll probably have 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 cottages. And the street will come this way, and then we'll wrap back into this area. Now, that makes this area a bit of dead space, and I'm not entirely sure what I want to do with it yet. I've thought about a church or maybe a park, or maybe both. A church and a park could go very nicely in this area because it's quite a large space, and coming up from those stairs, you're going to want something big and grand on the side of you. So I really like that idea, church park combination kind of thing up in this area. But anyway, the street is going to continue down this way. We'll probably have some markets in the smaller areas where this area gets a little bit tight together. We'll probably do some markets, another building here of some sort, and then as we come to the back, we'll probably have to have some type of very small shack-like buildings in the back here, and then over in this area, we'll have a bridge that connects up over to Prowl's base once again. So we're going to have a lot of detail work to do in here. We're going to have some bigger builds. We're going to have some smaller builds. But overall, the idea is to make the area feel very compacted. Everything should feel very close together as if you are in a city. And I feel like we've actually nailed that with this area down here where the port bar is. Like this area, you always have something new to look at, and that's kind of what I want to do with the top part up there. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that is enough rambling for me today. I do hope that you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, be sure to leave a like on it, as well as if you're new around here, be sure to subscribe. But anyway, guys, that's going to be it for me today. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. You guys have a great day.